All right, this has been a highly coveted video. Seems like so many comments over the past few weeks has been, Jake, show me your tools. Show me, how are you making these things? So here's a short little video that you can watch. It won't be an hour long, just be probably under 10 minutes. And some of the tools that I have now to make some of the points I've been making. Now, this is by no means all the tools that I'd like to have. You know, I was gonna order some stuff and be like, okay, this is the perfect collection of tools to have. But I don't know, I wanna be faithful to what I have and show you what I've been using and show you that really it's enough. We'll start on this side. It's always good to have a good pair of scissors. These are not a good pair. Fiskars, probably like 50 cents. They come in handy every now and then. These screwdrivers here, I have not put them to the test yet, but basically you'd cut these off here and they'd be good for pressure flaking with. And I bought a whole pack, Pittsburgh 6-piece screwdriver set. Some are long, they got ants on them. But for $2.99 I think, or $2.80 or something like that. Real cheap. Now I know y'all have better recommendations for this, so let me know where you get your hardened steel from. But this was just cheap. I saw it, I was like, well, maybe it'll work. Might not be the best, but we'll try it out. These files here, I get them at Flint-Knapping Man, they come in handy when you get into some of the notching of your points. Be able to, you know, if it stalls out or something like that, focus it there. If it stalls out, you can use this joker here into the notch and file you a platform. Same thing with this flat one here. And I'll even use the skinnier side to it and to be able to get into the tiny notches. These needle nose pliers, you'll see why we need those in a minute. The belt, that comes from Indirect Percussion. So the middle stick here, got this from Flint-Knapping Supplies too. A little bit thicker. It's got a copper tip here, and I round it down kind of like a bottom of an ice cream cone, and I'll flake with the side of it. And basically this goes under my knee here, and then I strike where my thumb's at, boom, and I'm able to drive some flakes off. That belt holds it in place. And then I'll put one of these pads under that belt. Got two abrading stones, one medium grit, small grit, one heavier grit. This was half the size of what it normally is, but I see it broke. But I like these size, they're easy to work with. So this is the indirect stick I showed you. This is also from Flint-Knapping Supplies. A lot of my stuff is from them. This is just a issue stick, a thicker version. And this right here, excuse me here if I can do it, it'll twist off, and this bit, whoa, I'm gonna fall. This bit will slide in and out because of the ribs. And you get it where you want to, and then you can, I think I went the wrong way. It's weird holding it this way. You can tighten it back up and that'll be in place. This is also an indirect stick. I hadn't used it, but it's just a smaller bit, so I figured I'd include it. A little leather pad. When I do use indirect, I put my point on this pad. Got a rock over here. And put the bit on that platform once I abrade it and let it run. This I use the hard back. You really need one of these. You know, just a normal pad isn't enough. You need something with a thick backing whenever you're doing pressure flaking. A good example is if I have this and I'm pressing in to the point, I'm holding the point, I'm pressing the flake, there's just so much bend and give. Having something with a hard back, there's not much give. You can really support your point. But I don't use this for indirect percussion. I just use it for pressure flaking and using this issue stick. Got some gloves. You got to have you some gloves. I think these are two different kinds. Pressure flakers. Got one copper, one smaller copper, and one horseshoe nail. Really need to extend this further, but I'm just showing you my tools as is now. Nothing fancy. All right, now this is where it gets a little bit more particular. And I'm gonna sit down here. This is my full set of knapping boppers. I love these. They're lead filled, Flint-Knapping love these things, drive a good flake. And I even use all the way down to here. I'll finish out the point with this joker here. I use the whole set. Down here I got the solid copper heads. This one, the biggest one, I use for spalling. I'm gonna put it up here for a sec. This one I use for indirect percussion. Now I need to bang it into place. And that's not gonna work, but I use this for when I'm using my indirect stick. And this right here, the smallest one, now notice I don't have the full set because I lost it, but the smallest one I use for punch notching my points. And I use this here, or I'll use one of my copper inserts and I'll punch with this into my point. You gotta have some rock. It's just some Alabama coastal. Now people have Allen wrenches. I just use this, it's quicker for me. Gotta have your sweet tea. Nobody else is gonna have this in their tool video. This is no calorie stuff. Love it. Gotta have your glasses, and flakes will come up and bite you in the butt sometimes. A good little measuring stick. Doesn't hurt either. Measuring tape. Now I got 4 things here for spalling. The biggest one's gonna be this here. Neolithics or Flint-Knapping supplies should have this. And this is nice because the copper, it rotates. So if that copper were to stay the same and I were to hit it, you know, it's gonna deform in one position. But since it's able to rotate, I can hit it in different areas and it's gonna mushroom evenly all the way across. You can see, and it's got some play. You hear the play in there. So it's able to really transfer a little bit easier. So I use that for big boy spalling. This here, I know I need a smaller copper hammer, but I picked this up for real cheap, Harbor Freight, and I just do it for light spalling. This is solid copper. I pretty much hit it on the side here. I don't use the tip. I need to grind that down is probably why. But it's just a big spalling bopper. And the same thing here, just for spalling, probably stuff like this. But really when you get to this stage, I'll switch to these boppers here. And they do better for me. And I forgot, you know, a little file. You gotta keep your copper, you know, down to a nice point, nice tip. And with that, I think that's it. You know, then you got the stereotypical stuff like the chair, you know, maybe a little desk or something. I'll show you my setup here in a little bit. I gotta clean it up a little bit. But there you go, there's my tools. If you have a question about something, if you have any comments or tips or stuff that you think is better than what I have, feel free to leave it. I mean, I know there's stuff that I want to get. I want to get some more indirect sticks. I want to get some more issue sticks for sure. Horseshoe nails, I need more copper inserts. And really just new boppers in general. I've used those out. More Braden stones, obviously more sweet tea. Can't go wrong there, I'm telling you. And yeah, so that's it. If y'all have a comment for me, let me know. But I think that'll be it. Thank y'all.